Basketball fans, what's going on? Welcome into NBA Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, and today I'm power ranking Giannis's destinations in 2021. I know it's the 2020 offseason, but guys, we're talking about 2021 right here with Giannis Antetokounmpo about to hit free agency. Now, he will be unrestricted in 2021 unless, of course, he decides to accept the supermax offer from the Milwaukee Bucks. But many people think that's not going to happen. They think he wants to dip his toes in the free agency water and be able to at least test it out and see where he could go in free agency. Now, one thing that has been floated out there recently is that he could potentially sign a 1+1 deal. And you're like, Jimmy, what is that? I don't understand. Well, he could sign a 1-year deal with a player option on the second year, and that would make him eligible to become a free agent in 2022 when the cap space will rise up and he could be eligible for more money. So before I break down all 30 teams, I want to know where you think Giannis will go. So not where you want him to go, but where you genuinely think he'll land in 2021, or maybe where he could get traded to. And we're going to start off starting with number 30, the team that's least likely. This is my tier called the no shots. The Sacramento Kings, they're not going to get him, not as long as Luke Walton's the head coach there. Vlade Divac is running the front office. The Detroit Pistons at 29, no clear direction of where they're going in their future. With guys like Sekou Doumbouya, I guess that's their best young piece. Not going to happen. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they've got a couple young guards that I like, and Darius Garland and Colin Sexton, but let's face it, Giannis ain't moving from Milwaukee to Cleveland. If he wants out of Wisconsin, he's not going to Cleveland. Number 27, I got the Washington Wizards. Again, a team whose future is just up in the air with guys like John Wall and Bradley Beal potentially on the move, and then their young player being Rui Hachimura. Again, not a team that has much of a chance there. And then 26, the only reason I have them at the top of these bottom five is because Michael Jordan is running the things there in Charlotte, and maybe he wants to go play for Michael Jordan. I don't really know, but at the end of the day, these 5 teams, I'm sorry if you're a fan of them, they've got no shot at landing Giannis Antetokounmpo in 2021 or even trading for him in this offseason. Now, maybe it's one of those 5 teams, or maybe it's a team that I haven't mentioned quite yet. What is the most surprising landing spot for Giannis? So the one team that you're like, no way they get him, but then they get him, and then you'd be extremely surprised. Let me know in the comment section, or if you're watching with us live in the live chat, the most surprising potential landing spot for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's go one tier up. These are the teams that have a good future, but still don't have a shot at Giannis Antetokounmpo. Number 25, it's the Orlando Magic. I like Jonathan Isaac. I like Aaron Gordon. I like Markelle Fultz. I like Nikola Jokic. He's not going to Orlando. Number 24, the Indiana Pacers. I like what they can do in their front office. I think they know how to build a team. But again, question marks around them with Miles Turner, Domantas Sabonis, and even Victor Oladipo. I don't know where they're headed. 23, I've got the Minnesota Timberwolves. I've got them above these next 2 teams because they do have 2 young stars in D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns. But at the end of the day, no chance Giannis is going to Minnesota. Now, we're going to move up one little rung in the ladder with the Atlanta Hawks at 22 because I do think this is an interesting team and a team to keep an eye on because they've got a lot of young trade assets. And no, Giannis probably isn't going to outright sign with them in free agency, but maybe they could look to package some of their trade assets and go out and get him from the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, let me also say this. Trae Young and Giannis Antetokounmpo would complement each other perfectly because Trae Young, one of the best three-point shooters, can't play a lick of defense. Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the league's best defenders, can't shoot the ball worth a lick. So it would at least be fun to see, but at the end of the day, the Atlanta Hawks still not very high up on my list. Number 21, I got the Phoenix Suns. I think Devin Booker maybe has a little bit of pull there, maybe DeAndre Ayton, but not enough to move them into my next tier of teams. So again, these are the teams that I like the direction they're headed in with their future. They ain't getting Giannis Antetokounmpo in 2021. Now, one thing you need to get now and for 2021, and hopefully not much longer after that, is a face mask. Go to chatsports.com/NBA mask, whoever your favorite team is, or maybe whoever you think is going to sign Giannis and you're going to jump on their bandwagon in 2021, you want to go get one today at chatsports.com/NBA mask. I continue to tell you about this deal because it is an awesome deal, and it's something that everybody needs nowadays. It's like water or air. We all have to have one, apparently, to go outside of our houses. So go to chatsports.com/NBA mask. You can find your favorite team and even some player-themed masks as well over there. One more time, that link is going to be in the comments and in the description. Chatsports.com/NBA mask. You can get packs of 1, 2, 3, or as many as 4. Let's go to the next tier I got here. These are my doubt it, but you never know type teams. The Portland Trailblazers with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Maybe he wants to go there and play with them. I got the San Antonio Spurs at 19. The only reason I rank them above the Spurs is because of one man and one man only, Greg Popovich. And maybe Giannis wants to go out and play for him. At 18, I got the Utah Jazz. I mean, listen, if you put Giannis and Rudy Gobert in the same front court, nobody's scoring on them. But also, he's not moving to Utah. Number 17, I got the Memphis Grizzlies, and this is a team much like the Atlanta Hawks that has a clear direction for their future and could be a lot of fun to see Giannis Antetokounmpo on this team with guys like Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks. I love Jaren Jackson Jr. Jonas Valanciunas is a pretty solid center for them as well, and they have some good young pieces off the bench like Brandon Clark and Justice Winslow. I don't think he's going to go to Memphis, but I do think they are at least someone that could say, hey, we've got all these young assets. Maybe they could trade for him in the regular season. But at the end of the day, I got them pretty low on my list. Right above them, I got the Chicago Bulls because with Chicago, you just never know. Sometimes they're in the mix for these big-name free agents, and they do have a pretty solid future as well with guys like Kobe White and Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter Jr. Who knows what Chicago could do, but I don't expect them to make too much noise in the Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstakes. Now, we are talking about Giannis, who is the reigning two-time MVP, but who do you think the best player is in the NBA right now? Is it Giannis Antetokounmpo? Is it LeBron James? Or is it someone else you don't see on this list? Type GA for Giannis, type LJ for LeBron, or comment the other name down in the comment section who you think the best player in the NBA today is right now. Let's go up into the top half, and I got the Houston Rockets sitting right in the middle at 15. I would have put them a little bit higher if Daryl Morey was still there, but unless Giannis is just looking to win right now, I don't think he goes to Houston. But I've got them in my maybe, possibly, potentially category is what I'm calling these guys. Number 14, I got the New Orleans Pelicans. Listen, Zion Williamson is going to be really a stud in the league for a long time. They've got Lonzo Ball. They've got Jackson Hayes. They've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They've got some young pieces. Maybe that's alluring and maybe that's intriguing to Giannis to go play with those young guys and win for a long time. Same thing with the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic are both really, really young, and they've already proven that they can win right now. And maybe Giannis doesn't want to wait around for a team to grow like the Pelicans, and he says, hey, the Denver Nuggets are my team, but not super high on my list. Now, the Oklahoma City Thunder at 12, and you're like, Jimmy, no way. They never sign big-time free agents. You're right. I have them this high because I think they have the assets to trade for him if they really, really wanted to. They have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they have Luguentz Dort, and they have Darius Bazley, all as players that could easily be used as trade chips. And not to mention, this is the much more important thing. They could have up to 15 first-round picks over the next 6 years if they want to. This doesn't even include their second-round picks. When it comes to pick swaps and it comes to all the trades they've made, they could end up with as many as 15. That is so many trade assets and so many picks that if the Bucks were like, hey, we just want draft picks, the Oklahoma City Thunder have more picks than anybody in the NBA ready to offer up. Now, much like the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Knicks are also a team that have those trade chips when it comes to drafting draft assets and also some young players as well. But I got to put them a little bit higher than Oklahoma City because they have the trade assets, but also big-name free agents. They always at least consider New York, but not many have actually gone to New York. Now, at the top of the show, I asked you where you think Giannis will sign. Now I want to ask you where you want Giannis to sign this next offseason or maybe even get traded to. So maybe it's your favorite team or maybe it's just a team you want to see him play for. Let me know in the comment section where you want Giannis Antetokounmpo to go in 2021. Now we're moving into the top 10. This is where the real players come out. These are the teams that I think will at least get a meeting with Giannis but aren't super likely. The Philadelphia 76ers. Now that they have Daryl Morey in there and they have Doc Rivers, that's a team that is headed in the right direction, and I think he might find that intriguing. At number 9, I got the Brooklyn Nets. They've got Kevin Durant. They've got Kyrie Irving. They won a third star. Who bigger than Giannis Antetokounmpo? They know how to build a team now, and I think he could at least look that way. At number 8, I got the Boston Celtics. I do think this is a team that has the trade assets if they want it with guys like Jaylen Brown or Marcus Smart or Gordon Hayward or Romeo Langford or all the young guys that they have like Grant Williams. And they have picks in the future that they can offer up. So I've got Boston pretty high up because, one, they could trade for him, but two, I definitely think they'll at least get a meeting with Giannis Antetokounmpo in 2021. At 7, and maybe you're saying this is a little bit low, Jimmy, but it's the Los Angeles Clippers. Sure, they've got Kawhi. Sure, they've got PG, but those guys are both going to be free agents in 2021. And if they're gone, this team doesn't have a lot to build around Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I've got them at 7, right ahead of their brothers over in the other part of Los Angeles, the Lakers. I've got the Lakers coming in at number 6. Obviously, they know how to build a team. They have Anthony Davis, and they have LeBron James. But here's the problem. LeBron's going to be another year older at that point. That team is going to become Anthony Davis's team, and I'm not convinced that Giannis wants to say, hey, I'll come take a back seat to Anthony Davis, a guy that I think he's clearly better than. So I don't think he's going to consider the Los Angeles Lakers all that strongly in 2021. Now, if you want to know where Giannis is going to end up and you want to get it before anybody else, you're going to want to make sure you subscribe today. Go to youtube.com/chatsportstv and subscribe to the channel because we're doing videos every single day. I think we put out at least 3 videos a day on our main channel. NFL, NBA, college football, anything you want to talk about, we got on this channel. But if you're a big-time NBA fan, hit those notifications so that you can get all the notifications and all the videos right when they come out. Let's get to the top 5, and these are the teams that I truly believe have the best shot at Giannis Antetokounmpo. Number 5, it's the Toronto Raptors. According to multiple reports, it is an open secret, which I didn't know was a thing, that Giannis would consider Toronto in 2021. And I think the biggest thing is Masai Ujiri, who's the GM over there. He wanted to draft Giannis in 2013, but he couldn't trade up high enough to actually get him before the Milwaukee Bucks selected him. Also, I read a report that Masai Ujiri helped Giannis's family immigrate to Greece. And when you already have that personal connection there, there's some real-time things that could happen on the basketball court. So I got the Raptors at 5. I think this is a team that has a very good shot at landing him in 2021. A team above them, the Golden State Warriors. First of all, you combine the fact that they have the number 2 pick this year. They have guys like Andrew Wiggins. They have guys like Draymond Green. They have draft picks in the future from teams like the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they have signed free agents already in the past like Kevin Durant. They know how to bring in these big-name guys, and they know how to build a contender. All those reasons combined are why I have them at number 4 on my list. I think this is 100% a team that Giannis could end up with. And although it would make a lot of NBA fans mad, we got to be realistic here. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, that is a fun trio. And then you throw in Giannis, that team's going to be winning championships for years to come. Let's go to my number 3 team, and this is where things get real hot. Because it's the Miami Heat. I definitely think he would consider Miami. I think that's a team that we've now seen guys like LeBron James sign with. We've seen guys like Chris Bosh sign with. We've seen guys like Jimmy Butler sign with. They know how to land big-time free agents. And Pat Riley is 100% laser-focused on 2021. And when he says he's laser-focused on it, you know what that means. He wants the best player. He wants Giannis Antetokounmpo. And since this is a team that has already been to the Eastern Conference Championship, has been to the NBA Championship now, why wouldn't Giannis want to go play with them? I think this is a team that will be in it until the bitter end for the sweepstakes for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's go to my number 2 team, and I have held true to this since Giannis was basically becoming an all-star, the Dallas Mavericks. I 200,000 bajillion% believe that if Giannis leaves Milwaukee, he's going to go to Dallas. Donnie Nelson wanted to draft Giannis back in 2013. Mark Cuban said, nah, I want Shane Larkin. Shane Larkin's playing in China. Giannis is playing with the Milwaukee Bucks as a 2-time MVP. He already has a good relationship with Kristaps Porzingis. They've literally been seen together in Greece before hanging out. And the fact that he would get to play with the guy who is going to be a top 3 player in the NBA for the next decade would be very, very intriguing if I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is a team that has a real shot to land him, and they have the cap space to get him in 2021. Expect the Mavericks to come sweeping in if Giannis leaves. But that's a big if, because my number 1 team on this list, and I'm going to be realistic, and maybe you're just, I'm being boring here, and I'm playing it safe, but I don't think Giannis is going to leave Milwaukee. I think he wants to be loyal to his team. I think he's watched guys like Dirk Nowitzki growing up, and he's watched guys like Tim Duncan play for their teams, and they've been with one team their entire career. I think he wants to emulate that. And Milwaukee, let's not count out the fact that they have more money to offer anybody than anybody in the open market. They have that supermax in their back pocket. And no matter how much a team wants to win or a player wants to win, money always talks, right? And with the supermax, you can't count it out. So I do think Giannis will end up staying in Milwaukee, but if they can't make it back to the NBA championship or make it to the NBA championship this next year, watch out for those other teams that I mentioned, like the Dallas Mavericks, the Miami Heat, or the Golden State Warriors. So of those top 4 teams that I mentioned in today's video, Who do you think has the best shot at landing Giannis? Type MIL for the Milwaukee Bucks, MIA for the Miami Heat, GSW for the Golden State Warriors, or DAL for the Dallas Mavericks.